Okay, hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited for tonight. We are gonna have the most amazing call, but surprise, it's not quite what you expect, and I'll get to that in just a second. My name is Joy Bowen. I am a 6-star, 2-time elite coach. I'm one of the leaders who is putting together this summer series. And I'm so very thankful that you guys took some time out during this very busy season. Oh my gosh, anyone else feeling like the stress at the end of the school year? We have 1 week left. We have a graduating senior. It is just crazy bananas at our house. We have family coming next week. Oh, you like the hat? I do too. And so we are in the midst of just crazy town. So I thank you for taking time. Oh, I hear someone who's not muted. Time out of your busy schedule to advance your business and do something good for the world just by developing yourself. So it's pretty awesome that we get to do that. So let me get, oh my goodness, all these windows open. Let me get myself organized. How about that? That would be good. 1 second. I'm telling y'all, if this unorganized, crazy person can do anything, you can do it too. You should see all the windows I have up at the moment. Oh, mercy. So crazy. Okay. I wanted to basically get to the surprise that we have for you guys. I know that you were all, somebody is not muted. Can somebody, y'all help me out? We're just going to spend the entire 30 minutes saying, can y'all please mute yourself? I know y'all were expecting to log in tonight and hear a message from Kim Fitzpatrick on faith over fear. And y'all, she has like a horrific migraine, like the debilitating kind. And I don't know if you've ever suffered from migraines, but I have, and it is just not good. So say a prayer for Kim that she would get some relief tonight. But surprise, we have Jamie Fitzpatrick, who is stepping up to the plate. He is taking her spot, and you guys, we are so blessed. This is Kim's husband, a self-proclaimed dishwasher. He is a dad. He was number 6 in the company in 2017. In 2018, right now, he's number 22, 2-time elite, top male, 14-star diamond executive leader. He's on the Canada Market Council, summit speaker for 2017 and 2018. And oh my gosh, I can't say enough nice things about Jamie. He has been such a great friend to us and so generous with helping us whenever we reach out to him. He has just been the greatest guy. My husband, thankfully, was a super fanboy. And somebody mute your line. My husband was a super fanboy and stalked him at a Success Club trip 2 years ago, which is just another reason why you want to get on those Success Club trips, because you meet the most amazing people. You have no idea how like your journey and the trajectory will change just because you met someone so awesome. So Jamie, let me unmute you, or can you unmute yourself?
We're good.
Yay. I'm going to try to find the lone person who is not muted while you take it from here. And I'm so excited. I basically told you to like talk about anything you want to. So like, I'm even going to be surprised and taking a ton of notes, I know.
It's like a search mission right now, trying to find the person that's unmuted. I know, I get it. It happens.
It happens.
Yes. So no, I'm not Kim. I am her much lesser half, believe me. But the topic was faith over fear, and I didn't know I was doing this till about a couple hours ago. But I do a fair amount of team calls and stuff, and a fair amount of guest spots. So I'm going to pick it up and give you some stuff that I hope you find of value. I always say when I do these calls and stuff, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to deliver anything earth-shattering, to be honest with you. But if maybe I say something a little bit different than you're used to, or maybe I deliver the message in a different way, hopefully you pick a nugget out of that and you take that into your business and you can use it. I can motivate you all day long, to be honest with you. I feel like that's maybe a strength of mine, but I'll be really honest with you. Motivation is kind of BS. It's temporary. It doesn't last. This whole business, I'm telling you, you can believe it, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. This whole business is really built on, I almost want to say, an insatiable desire to want more for you and your family. It's built on this, I don't even know how to describe it. But listen, that's actually good news for a lot of you. And I wanted to start off before I get going on this, is that the fact that you're on this call means you have leadership, and it means you probably have specific training and that you're being led down this path. So you're already ahead of the game, actually. You really are. You're ahead of the game, because there are so many coaches out there who have nobody. They don't have regular team calls. They don't have people who put these types of series together. So it's kind of like you don't have any excuses either, though, because you actually are in the top percentage of being led by people that care about what you're doing in your business. And there are so many people who don't have that. So feel fortunate for that. The good news about, what separates people, whatever you deem success, you're on this call. So you obviously want more than selling a challenge pack every month or helping the odd random person. You're here, you're spending time in this call. So the real gist of this business is you have to really want more. And the good news about that is it doesn't necessarily take a certain skill set. It doesn't necessarily take a certain type of business. Success doesn't discriminate, guys. It doesn't look at you and say, you're from so-and-so, success isn't available to you. It does not discriminate. So do not hold yourself back in that regard. And I know, I compare too. I still compare to what other people are doing, right? It's a thief of joy comparison. But what I kind of wanted to get into tonight is this faith over fear factor that Kim was going to talk about. It really comes down, guys, to a fact of if there's a secret in this business, and I don't know if there is one, I really don't. Look at me, I'm a dude. I hope you figured that out. I'm a dude in this business. There should be no way on earth I should be where I'm at. There just shouldn't be, based on laws, what you hear, all that stuff. But I really believe, and I'm not just blowing smoke, I think the secret to this business, if there is one, is your belief in, yourself a little bit, but actually in this opportunity. And you have to do a self-check, and you have to do an evaluation of your belief system. Maybe not system, that's the wrong word, but what do you really feel about this opportunity? When no one's in the room, and you really have to check down about this, what do you honestly feel? And I'm not talking about your capabilities in this business. I'm actually talking about other people who aren't in the business yet. So when you're approaching people, maybe to be a client or a coach, what do you really feel about this opportunity? Because that is actually where the power lies in this business, and the secret of this business is actually in your belief about what's actually available to people. Because I will guarantee you, if you are struggling in this business, and we all do, if you're struggling in this business and you've got a block up and it's just not going forward for you, I'm going to take a wild guess, an educated guess. I could be wrong. I'm generalizing because there's a lot of people on this call. Whether you consciously or subconsciously know, you probably have some form of a block that you don't actually think this is viable, or you don't actually think that this can turn into something that's holy, I'm making six figures at this business. So you have to do an inventory on what you feel. I'm not saying if you're not all the way there yet, it doesn't mean you can't do this business, but you have to find that in you, because guess what? That belief that you have in the opportunity, and I'm not even talking about Shakeology or Beachbody On Demand. I mean, they're great products. We all know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the overarching opportunity that this can provide people. Single moms, single dads, I shouldn't discriminate. People who go to an office job and detest their boss or detest having to hand in vacation requests. Like, this is the stuff that you have to, and it's that insatiable desire and quest to want more, but that has to be coupled with a belief in the opportunity, or you will never attract anybody. You just won't. It just will not work for you. Think of it this way. We sell the exact same products. We all do. We sell the same Shakeology. Mine doesn't have a special ingredient in it that makes people stay on it longer or me able to sell more challenge. It just doesn't. We do the exact same thing. So how come some people sell 400 challenge packs in a month and other people sell one? What is the difference factor? Like, what is that difference? How come some people sign up 10 coaches a month? Some people have trouble signing up 2 in a year. What is that, guys? Like, that I really like, because it is the same stuff. For me, personally, I wrote my notes on my phone at my son's baseball game, so I might look down here occasionally. For me, to be honest with you, and I can't get in your conversations. I don't know how you speak to clients. I don't know how you share this opportunity. I really don't. I can't get in there and physically see. But I'll tell you one thing. Listen, and this, I'm not saying this out of ego. That is not my game. That's not my thing. Like, people that know me, like, I feel like I'm pretty grounded and level. But I want to tell you something. I signed up in 2015, January 29th. I remember the day. I sold my first challenge pack on March 7th. Yeah, so a month and a little bit after that. I've been using Beachbody products with Kim for 9 years. I gained 60, 70 pounds from my past company through stress. Self-medicator, alcohol, food, you name it. I stayed up till 3 a.m. playing poker, drinking scotch, pizza, ice cream, just, emotionally gobbling the stress from my company that was happening, like terrible stuff in the company my brother and I started, and I just ate my way to 70 pounds overweight. I was about 250. I'm like almost 200 pounds now, but like I got down to like 178 and then realized, holy, I need to gain some muscle. So like I went to those extremes, right? And then when the coaching opportunity came in 2015, I was like, I kind of got to give this a try. And I actually waited on it for 10 months. And I want to tell you this quickly. My wife and I were customers for that many years, 8, 9 years. We owned every DVD set. And this is why you always need to keep reaching out to people. And I say this on every call because I think it's important to say regardless of the topic. We were Shakeology users up in Canada. I'm Canadian, can't you tell? We were Shakeology users up in Canada for 4 or 5 years, however long it was available in Canada. Not one person. And we posted on social media, not a lot, like not like now, but we were still on social media. Not one person ever invited us to a challenge group or to the coaching opportunity, ever. I actually had to go Google and search. I actually searched top coach in Canada, and that's who I signed up under, because no one ever reached out to me. No one invited us to a challenge group. 9 years we used the products, and we were like the perfect client, right? Like we were both 2 bags of Shakeology every month. Nothing. No, we had a coach. I don't know who they were. They never reached out to us. They probably got us through the lead program. You have to keep inviting, and that's not what this call is about, but that's a good story. Like, keep inviting, because we would be a good volume on your weak leg. I'm just saying. So you never know who that next person you're going to talk to is. You never know, guys. Back to my point. So here's the thing. When I signed up, again, I hope you know I'm a dude. Listen, I watched Scotty Hobbs' video, another guy. I signed up with a guy, Miguel, who was the top coach in Canada. It's the biggest team. Maybe Emily Robidaud does now. I'm not sure. Anyway, like, this is the belief thing that comes in, is no one ever told me when I signed up that guys couldn't do the business or guys struggled in the business. No one ever told me that. So when I started, I just started and went from there. And I never had any like self-limiting beliefs about myself about guys couldn't do the business. I just went and I did, and I started. And here's the thing, guys, and again, I don't say this out of ego, but this comes back to the faith over fear and really understanding where you're headed. My first year, and again, not out of ego, I just want to make a point here. I sold 400 challenge packs my first year. Now listen to this. I'm a dude, I'm a guy on the internet asking women to join a private group on Facebook, where they come in that group with me, and my wife wasn't doing the business at this time, to come in a private group with me to buy something off the internet for in Canada, it was $186. And women are actually signing up to come in this private group. And then I asked them to take bikini shots of themselves in the private group, and it's working. Like who would ever, like, does that make any sense to anybody at all? No. Like, you're going to sign up with a guy you don't know on the internet. He's going to come in a private Facebook group. You're going to do before and after photos. And like, you know, a lot of women signed on. You guys, I'll tell you this much, and I hope you find value out of what I'm about to say, is like, I think you need to be a steward of your business. I think you need to hop into sponsorship drill down. Yes, I think you need to know about Shakeology. You need to constantly be learning in this business. I will admit that you do, but I'll tell you one thing, that first year, if you asked me to name 5 ingredients to Shakeology, I knew shit. Sorry, I hope no kids are here. I swear. I knew nothing really. I knew nothing. I knew Beachbody On Demand, obviously. But you know what attracted people, honestly? My freaking passion and energy. They could, and I'm not saying this like I'm the most energetic or passionate guy, but that's just proof. Like, think of the situation, a guy signing women up on the internet to a private group, and then they wear a bikini and take pictures for people. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys, but it does. And I hope it proves to you that your passion and energy and what people feel off of you, and that magnet that they can't help but want to be part of what you're doing, that can make up for a lack of education. That can make up for a lack of success. That can make up for you not feeling worthy enough. That can make up for you being a new coach who hasn't hit Success Club in the first 6 months. That can make up for you all the shit that you've dealt with in the past. You show up with energy and passion, man, that covers up a lot. It's the equalizer. It just is. But you got to show up that way. You have to. I don't care. I know coaches who know everything there is about Shakeology. They know everything is about genealogy in the back office, and they can't sell anything because they're not like coming from their heart, and they're not being vulnerable. And you talk about fear and faith over fear. They are so scared of what other people frickin' think. It drives me banana cakes. It's my biggest pet peeve. I'm a guy's guy. I'm a dude. I drink beer. I played sports. If anyone should be afraid, it's me. But I was successful because I was vulnerable on social media, and I shared my story over and over and over and over and over and over again. I had some of my buddies message me, ask me if I was okay, but I say, hey, I'm building a business. Like, I'm trying to help people. That was my thing. If I can do this, guys, like, honestly, like, if I can do this, there's no real reason you can't do this, but you won't be able to do it if you don't open yourself up to everything. If you don't open yourself up and accept people to actually embrace the story that you're not telling. That's just all it is. You got to tell your story. That's what connects people. Like, the part that scares people so much about who you are, and let me newsflash everybody, if you haven't figured this out yet, we're all dysfunctional. Hello, like, we're all dysfunctional. We all have people in our family who are crazy. We've all done stupid stuff. Like, I'm telling you, and I say this all the time, like, I'm of mediocre intelligence. I work really hard to make up for that. You know, like, I work really hard to make up for that. And because I'm not that intelligent, like, if you took my IQ score, I have to spend more time in the business to accomplish my goals. And I'm willing to do that. Are you? Are you? You just have to ask yourself that. The power hour, sorry, doesn't exist. 5 do. 6 power hours do. Listen, we built this business with full-time corporate jobs, my wife and I. Lots of traveling away from our kids, 6-8 hours away from our kids. They were 3 and 6 when we started the business. full on activities, dance, baseball, you name it. We were fortunate enough last year to both leave our corporate jobs to do this full time. But how do you think the first 2 years went? You kind of have to be willing, and I'll just keep it real for you. You have to be willing to live in a period of imbalance for a while. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I could be wrong. I'm sure maybe there's other coaches who it comes easier to them. I don't know. I'm not in their house seeing them work. But I'll tell you this, guys. I would do this over and over. If you had to tell me I had to start at day one, I would do this over and over and over again, because the sacrifices are so, I could get emotional about this, and cry in front of you because of the sacrifices, and getting messages from, my coaches who finally got to leave their office job where they don't have to put their kids in daycare, and they're now earning more than their office job. That's the shit that fills my cup. That fills my cup, right? And so sorry, my phone screensaver's on here. So that's the stuff that I want you to think about this when you get into conversations with people, and not even just clients, because most of my people were clients that we signed up the first year, and then we actually turned them into coaches. I think we shared this last, oh, maybe we didn't. I don't know. I get confused with the amount of talks, but I did last summit. 28 of our whatever diamonds at that time were actually clients of ours, because we put them in the challenge group. We had them fall in love with it, and then they turned into coaches. That's the vital process of how we worked. I mean, now we have people coming to us being like, I want to coach, because we have a little bit of notoriety, but it's still that process of client falling in love with the process and the products, and then turning them into coaches. But you got to show up in that conversation with some passion and energy, and I'll be honest with you, or you're dead in the water. I don't care how much you know, you're dead in the water if you show up with no passion and energy. And here's the thing, guys, and I know you've heard this before, they don't care what you sell. They don't care what you do. And this is truth. They need to hear from you why you're doing this. That's what they need to hear from you, especially coaching opportunity calls. Energy Bus, fantastic book. Fantastic. I'm trying to read the comments as we go through here, and it's true. Alexis, it's a great point. 2 years of chaos for a life of free, for a life of freedom. 2 years of chaos, guys. And chaos, I say lightly, because I'm always a real perspective guy. What we do for a living, it requires a lot of time. But are you kidding me? We literally drink milkshakes and post on social media and have to talk to people about an opportunity that really improves their life and allows them to live longer. If you think that's hard, you need a reality check. Going to war is hard. You spouses who are military spouses. Going to war is hard. Going through chemotherapy is hard. Going to an actual coal mine and working a job that you fricking hate and you have to do for 35 years is hard. This requires a little bit of grit, because you get a lot of no's. Take the emotion out of the no's, by the way. It's not you. Take the emotion out. If you take the emotion out of every no you get, and everyone who has an opinion about what you do, and if you take that on personally and emotionally, of course you're not going to last in this business. Of course you're not. Who would? I don't take it emotionally. All I know is the more no's I get, the more successful I'm going to be. The top coaches in this company get the most no's. Imagine if they took everything on emotionally. They wouldn't be where they're at. But I know a lot of you, you're just oh my gosh, they said no to me. No, they said no because they're not ready. Or maybe you didn't come prepared for the conversation and full of passion and energy. That's not even actually your lack of knowledge or anything. It's just you not showing up to that call, explaining why this is so important to you, right? I'm hoping this is kind of resonating, because here's the thing. What I was going to say at the start of the call is I could come on here and go through scripts and tell you things I say in conversations, or, all that stuff, which, to be honest with you, I don't really go off of a lot of scripts. I go based on the person I'm talking to and what they need. But you don't need more technical stuff. There is so much training in Beachbody. It's almost too much. And the fact that you're on this call means you're part of a team that has training and stuff. You don't need more technical analysis of, how to sell a challenge. You just don't. You gotta go internal and figure out what you want out of this, And I'm still a firm believer that like the other thing, it's like we take this energy and tone, and I talk like this with people on the phone. Get on the phone, by the way. No more messaging to sell challenge packs with you. Don't do that anymore. You're gonna have those moments where you have to, but get on the phone with people, voice message people, get on Zoom with people, connect with people so they see how much you care about them and what you do. That's another huge thing, guys. Don't be scared. Get rid of that fear. It's okay. They're as scared as you are. So you guys can both approach the call that way. Okay. A funny thing happens too, guys, when you approach it with that passion and you approach it with that energy and you show up that way and you share what it means to you. Again, like out of those 400 challenge packs my first year, maybe 5 to 10. I honestly can't remember because it wasn't that many. Maybe 5 to 10 asked me, hey, what are the ingredients in Shakeology? Or like, hey, what? They don't ask those questions because they're locked into what it did for me. And I'm telling my story, right? Like I'm telling them what it does for me. And then I make sure in those discussions, without a shadow of a doubt, as best as I can, humanly possible, I let them know I am the person that's about to change the course of your life. How many times have you said that to someone? I am the person that is about to change the way you live your life. I'm going to introduce you to an opportunity that has the potential to change everything about what you do, how you feel, your future, your family, your kids. I tell it to their eyes. And when they believe that, that's all they need to do. The rest is up to them, whether they want to work hard enough to do it. The rest is up to them. But I know without a shadow of doubt, and I knew it even before I got to resign from my corporate job. I knew it before we were top 10. I knew it the first 6 months. I didn't have to experience being a top coach. I was a nobody for the first 2 years or whatever, but I saw the stories of people who did succeed. I saw the stories of people who were earning 6 figures, who were superstar diamonds, who were going to Bora Bora on the top 10 trip. So it doesn't take much for me to look at those people and go, okay, so you can turn this into something pretty cool. So I didn't have to experience that to tell those stories or to believe in that. I knew it was possible. And the other thing about being around those people and going to the Amalfi Coast with them and being on these leadership stuff and all that, I also know they're just as insecure about stuff as we are and you are. They have their own hangups. They play the comparison game. There's stuff that they're terrible at in their business. There's stuff they're really good at, just like you. As soon as you realize those people aren't any actually different than you, as soon as you understand and realize that, you will start to open up your business to new things. But that's not always that easy, because that takes some inner work and some PD and some belief in what you're doing. Jim Rohn said this, right? It's like, it's never lack of skill. It's never lack of talent that people don't succeed. It's just people either miss the opportunities. And right now, and I'm just generalizing here, I'm obviously don't know all of you, so I'm not speaking to you, but you not giving this everything you can give it is you actually missing the opportunity. You signed up for the opportunity, but some of you are missing it. And I don't know that. That's something you have to dig in deep and figure out what you're doing, But some of you are missing this opportunity, and some of you will quit in 3 to 6 months. You just will. It's the numbers game, because you won't have the patience long enough. I know it's truth bombs. I know you won't have the patience long enough to do it, or you won't do the work on yourself to do that, but it is so possible, you guys. Have you seen the top 50 in the company? All shapes, all sizes, ethnicities, backgrounds, small towns, big towns, 100 followers when they started, 10,000 followers. It doesn't matter. Success doesn't discriminate. So get over yourself. Get over yourself. Not poor me, not I can't do this because I come from this, or I'm this, or I came from here, I have to deal with this, or not. No, those are just self-limiting beliefs, guys. And if you remove that out, the world opens up, this business opens up. But you got to do that. You just have to. Looking at my notes. Here's the thing. Are we already at a half an hour? My God, I can ramble. I apologize. I'll try not to take up too much longer. I thought of this question the other day with my team, and I shared it on a call. And I want you to think about this. What if the next coach you approach to sign up on your team, that you're going to show up with energy and passion and share how this opportunity has changed them, and like you're gonna pour belief into people. This business is also just pouring belief into people, by the way. Pour belief, like just throw belief on people, just like chuck it at them, like fill their cup with belief. Because the reality is that's all some of you need to blow this out of the water. That's all you need. It's like the magic formula. It's just the hardest one to mix in. It's the hardest one to mix in sometimes, right? What if we're all fortune tellers? You're all fortune tellers. You can tell the future right now. And on Friday of this week, you hop on a Zoom call with a coach that seems pretty good, but you're not, listen, we never know. But somehow fairy dust has been magically sprinkled on all of you, and you can tell the future. And this coach that's signing up on Friday, in 3 years, they're going to make the top 10. You're going to put them on your weak leg, and they're going to turn into a superstar diamond. And in about 3 or 4 years, they're going to earn about $700,000 that year. You know this going into this call. You know it. Like I've turned you into a fortune teller, and you know this. But they're really skeptical about this. Because most people are. And you've got to convince them to sign up on Friday. But you can tell, if you add them on your weak leg, blow your business up. Game changer. You're going to be doing recognition posts for them for the next 2-3 years. 1-star diamond, 2-star, 3-star, 5-star, elite, top 10. Like, you're going to get tired of doing graphics and recognition posts for this coach you're going to sign up on Friday. But you got to convince them. How do you show up for that call? How do you convince them to join? I'll guarantee you show up for that call more fired up, more prepared, more energy, more tone. You're going to believe in this person so freaking much because you know what's about to happen. Think about how you would show up to that call. Like right now, just like how excited would you be? Like, you're going to be so good at this. Like, you're going to crush this business. Like and I'm not saying show up to every call like that because you don't know that about everyone, but imagine how you'd show up to that call. Now, what if you took that same approach for every single person you interact with? It's a good question to ask yourself, because that's what I think about when I go into the coaching opportunity, because I know and I believe what this opportunity possesses for people. I know that the next coach I sign up could be that person, so I treat them like that. Because I know how this opportunity changes people. I know how it changed our life. My wife and I, we literally, the November before we signed up, November 2014, my wife traveled a lot. I traveled a lot, like 6 to 8 hours on the road. My wife in the air across Canada, all over the place. In November, we saw each other 4 days out of the month, passing ships in the night. That was actually our line in the sand. We're like, something has to change. We wake up every day and get to decide what we want to do. We still And I'm not saying this out of like, haha, look what we got. I'm not saying this at all. I want you to understand something. We don't need a bigger house. We don't need more cars, although I did just buy a new truck, but that's not the point. Maybe the odd extra vacation is nice, but we don't do this for stuff. That's not what we started this for. We did this for freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice. We get to walk our kids to school and pick them up every day. We were those parents who picked our kids up at 6 p.m. at night from after school care. We were the last ones there, racing home, calling each other on the road, being, how far away are you? I'm 45 minutes, I'm half an hour, I'll get them. And like 6:05, 6:10 picking them up. That was us. And we drew our line in the sand. We drew our line in the sand, and just something had to change. And the fact that we get to do that every frickin' day, guys, use my story to energize you. It's everything to us. Income's great too. We don't have to worry about stuff. We're paying off our mortgage. I know what this can do for people. I know what this can do for people. So why wouldn't I treat every person who might be interested in this opportunity, every invite I do, I treat it like that. Like I could dramatically alter this person's life. Do you know how much freedom and how much power you have with this opportunity? Do you have any idea? Go into your conversations with that. And if you're not going into those conversations like that, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. People don't believe you. They don't feel that energy. They don't feel what you're speaking to. The past business that my brother and I owned that caused me so much stress, and I won't get into it. We owned a chain. We opened up one retail store. It was like this is crazy. It was like I still don't believe it actually worked. It was a dog store, a dog lifestyle store. This is back in 2003 when you know those boutique dog stores, they never were around. Like we were one of the first ones to start that. We sold holistic food, but it was very like, a dog life. We stole like expensive life jackets for dogs and clothing and collars and all that. And then we franchised it out to like 23 stores. Our first store, we borrowed money from my mom and dad. We invested $250,000 into that first business. $250,000. And then we had to buy product and hope it was going to sell. We had to hire employees. Our rent, mind you, we opened the store in the highest per capita income town in Canada, Oakville. Our rent was $8,000 a month to our landlord we had to pay. Do you know how many dog biscuits that is to sell to pay that rent? $250,000 to open the store, $8,000 in rent, employees, plus all the product we had to buy every month. We had to sell that at double what we bought it for. So you had to have this cash flow all the time. We never made a dime after 2 years. The crazy part is, I think the first 2 years we had like $700,000 in sales and then $800,000 in sales in the second year. We weren't making a penny because of the expenses. My point, this business is a joke to sign up for. It's when I first found out, I was like, it's $160 to open the business and I actually get product for it. And there's no coach sign-up fee. And you're charging me, US $15.95. And it's $50.95 every month to actually get the back off. What? Like I actually didn't believe it because it was such a joke of a fee to sign up, guys. So the fact that you get to open a business for that amount of money and you actually get product for it, I hope you have the perspective to realize that is ridiculous, guys, for the opportunity that's ahead of you. So my point, talking to potential coaches, you have to have that belief, but understand, like, from a business model, this is ridiculously good because I've done the other one. And so we had franchisees who had to pay us like 5% of so our franchisees would do $600,000 in sales. They had to pay us 5% in royalty fees and a 2% marketing fee. And then they had to pay Visa and the debit cards. They had to pay a percentage there too and stuff, plus all their expenses. This business, you keep 100% of your income. Every coach keeps 100% of your income. You don't have to give anything to anybody. But the cool part is, if I train my coaches well and I mentor them properly, Beachbody pays me a bonus. They pay me a bonus to do my job. I don't take money from my coaches. I don't take a royalty fee or marketing or anything like that. They pay me a bonus. The company, not the coach. Like you guys, this opportunity, I know some of you feel guilty reaching out to people. I know you have a fear of reaching out to people or sharing on social media. I want you to know that's just society's old way of thinking, stuck in the box, old school ignorance. They don't understand this business. They don't. I've done traditional business. People don't understand it. And that's okay, because you know what? It's what makes this one special. I actually like people don't understand this business because it's what makes it special. But you have to go into your conversations understanding how great this is and the opportunity. And I promise you, if you find that belief and you show up with passion and energy, you guys, that fear gets pushed aside. It does. Because if a guy like me honestly can do this and turn it into that, just with this passion and energy and belief of what I know this is, you can do it too. But you got to get out of your own damn way. You just have to, guys. I know it's not easy. I know you get judged. I know people, your family members, even your spouse. Don't get me started on that. Do not get me started on the spouse thing. Because I'm a guy. I get it. Guys are stubborn. We are. I see some guys walking around in the back. But it's like you just got to find that, guys. And if you haven't told your spouse or partner about this, or they're not that supportive of you, a couple things to consider. A couple things. And I'm going to side with them on one, and I won't side with them on the other. I get it when spouses have a problem. I get it when they have a problem with you, when you've got excited about this opportunity. You spent the little $160 to sign up and the $20 in the Shakeology every month. I get it when spouses, maybe a little truth bomb time for all of you. I get it when they have an issue, when you're spending some time doing this, but not turning it into anything because you're not doing what you should be doing in the business. Maybe it's Facebook scrolling, maybe it's whatever. I'm not judging. You know what you do on a daily basis. I think they have a right to judge what you're doing when you're not working your ass off at this. I think they have a right. Sorry. If you're here to build this, then spend the time that you have on building it. Honestly. But I will say, if you're doing that and you're committing to this business, you need to sit them down without alcohol when the kids are in bed, sit them down on the couch, and you need to explain to your spouse and partner, look them in the eyeballs, and explain how important this is to you. Don't drink when you're doing it, by the way. That's my advice. And explain what this means to you. Explain how important this is to you. Explain how this makes you feel. Just like a customer, just like a potential coach. Explain to your spouse what this means to you. And you're not asking for permission. I'm not all about that. You don't need to. But you need to explain to them how important this is to you. In a quiet room. So, the other part of this with your spouse, guys, is like, honestly, part of this conversation, and I wasn't going to go down this route, but listen, when I talk, it's a rabbit hole because I'm all over the place. They can also help you in your business. And I know they don't need to post on social media, but there's opportunities for them to help you in your business to provide income to your family. And maybe, just maybe, if they want to go look at some YouTube videos on my channel, tell them to reach out to me if they have any questions. Honestly, like, I'll try to get back to them, but sometimes it's easier for guys to relate to other guys. And if they look at me and go, hey, he seems normal, you know, I got a baseball hat on, they may open up a little bit. Maybe show them this part of the call. Maybe that'll help. Okay? So guys, I've taken up way too much time, 45 minutes in. I hope you found that useful. I'm just speaking from the heart, and there's no reason for me to sugarcoat stuff with you, because if it's not working for you now, you got to hear the facts sometimes. And we all have a different definition of hard work too, guys. That's the other thing here, right? That's the X factor. Maybe you need to redefine what that is for you.
Hey, Jamie, oh my gosh, I can't even thank you enough. Like, so much truth bomb, and like, Oh my gosh. Like you didn't even know what you were going to be talking about and you just did all that. You're amazing. So there were a couple questions that were thrown in the comments and I tried to capture them. Do you have time for just 3?
Nope, gotta go. I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the first question was from Z and it says, what is your advice for newer coaches that haven't seen the payback yet to have that belief?
What is my advice for newer coaches to see the payback who don't have? Well,
they haven't seen it. They haven't experienced the payback yet, or like the payoff, I guess. Like they're so new, they haven't experienced how great this opportunity is for themselves.
I mean, it's kind of what I said, because we were all brand new at some point. I had 0 coaches and 0 success points too at one point. Actually, for 7 weeks, I had 0 points and 0 success club. So at some point, you have to start. I would just say, like, use other people's stories. Use other people's successes to build up your belief. Because of course you can't use your own, because not everyone has that, right? So use other people's stories and successes to build up your belief, seeing that it's possible. Does that kind of answer the question?
Totally does. The next question was, how often do you share your story?
Well, my actual before and after story of how I started coaching, I don't do it as much now because I do more business oriented posts, but I feel like on my social media and Kim's social media, we tag each other and everything. I feel like we're always being intentful with our posts and telling our story in one way or another, right? Like not a lot of posts I don't think we'll do that are like, we don't show a picture of our kid in the backseat eating a banana and go, hey, that's cute, right? Because it's just not intentful. It shows that I feed my kids, but it doesn't show anything about what we do. But what I will do is I'll constantly tell the story of how when I was researching bankruptcy lawyers, because we were in such financial hardship. Or I'll tell my story of, being stressed out about whatever in my old job and how now or I tell the story all the time about picking our kids up at 6:00. I always relate it to a story that we used to go through, because that's just relatable to people because they're in that situation. So I feel like I share my story all the time, just different pieces of it. Often don't go without a post without sharing a piece of how it's impacted us, because I know someone else is going through that at the same time, and that's how you connect with people.
So I have one last question for you. And do you think that when you were a newer coach, you led more like the challenge group and fitness opportunity, and versus now you're probably doing way more business opportunity?
I think that's fair. Yeah. I mean, because at the start, that's all you kind of, I'm trying to think back. I think the first 2 months was very fitness oriented. And then for some reason, I understood the concept that I had a lot of clients my first 3 months, and I understood the concept that those people would turn into coaches. And I don't know where I got that from the first 3 months, but I understood that early on, that the people who were falling in love with the group, those would be the first coaches of mine. And then it kind of morphed over time. But yeah, that's fair. I would say, but we still sign up a lot of clients. So
that's awesome. Jamie, I can't even begin to thank you so much. Thank you enough for your time. You've been amazing and such a blessing to multiple teams. I think there's like 18 teams represented on this call.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for the ripple effect that you have. I appreciate your leadership and your friendship so very much. And tell Kim we hope she gets better.
Yes. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jamie. Have a great night.